We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Friday, August 7th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kyun.
Thanks for having me. Yay, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and also Wonmi's with us.
Hello, happy Friday.
Good to have you, and both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we finally reached everyone's favorite day of the week, Friday, and with weather like this, it may not be easy to get outside and get moving, but it's still one of the best ways to recharge after a busy week. In fact, more and more people are taking up running, whether it's for fitness, stress relief, or simply to enjoy the outdoors. So, let me ask you, I don't think I need to ask you this, but do you enjoy running?
As you can see, yes, I do. I've said this many times on air before. I actually picked up the real fun in running not too long ago. In fact, I actually went for a 5K run again last night. Got soaked in sweat, but it felt quite good for some reason. And I think that's one of the many reasons why people actually go for a run, because of that kind of feeling after you run. Like when you're soaked in sweat, you feel great.
The accomplishment.
The accomplishment as well. But for someone who plays soccer at a young age, I'm actually quite into cardio. But there was a brief moment in my life where I was actually into going to the gym, lifting weights, kind of like Wonbin. But that didn't last very long, as you can see, as you can tell. Anyway, the real trend is right now like joining running crews, running in groups, or just participating in marathon events. But for me personally, I just generally like running on my own, at my own pace, just kind of with the goal of just becoming fit and staying in good shape rather than kind of socializing at the same time. So I'm a little different to the Gen Zs.
Lone alpha wolf.
The lone alpha wolf, as Wonbin says.
What's the best part of running on your own?
Like I said, you can run at your own pace, but when you run with another group, you have to keep with that pace, within that pace. And for me, sometimes I can feel good, I can run faster. On days when I feel a little, I get not that great, I would actually slow down. But when you run in groups, you have to keep with a leader.
There are things to consider.
And things to consider as well. And like you have to kind of dress up as well. With a lot of Koreans do that as well. But I just wear whatever I want.
More
and feel comfortable.
Right. I mean, considering that Korea has, it's under a heat wave, the fact that you're still running, I think just proves, I'm like really amazed that you're still running in this
I'm trying
weather.
to beat the heat by meeting it. Face on.
Wow, okay. So what about you, Wonbi?
I've never seen Kyun this excited.
I'm actually quite excited.
Yeah, so I mean, I like running too, not as much as Kyun, but I'm always open to new outdoor activities, and running is one of the easiest, most simplest outdoor sports that you can start or you can try. And because it's really easy once you find your own pace, and there's relatively low risk of injury as long as you're running in moderation, unless you're not running too fast or too long. It doesn't need much equipment. You just need your body and your shoes and a bottle of water. And it's, as Kyun said, it's also very refreshing once you're done. And nowadays, I can't run as much as before because of my back pain. But even now, every week or every 2 weeks, I go out for a mild run for the refreshing feeling. Yeah.
Right, so running really is one of those activities that's easy to pick up and doesn't require much beyond a good pair of shoes. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen. Korea is known around the world for its K-pop, delicious food, and rich culture. But there's another reason more and more visitors are coming to Korea these days, and involves lacing up a pair of running shoes. Scenic running routes that pass by some of the country's most iconic landmarks are quickly becoming a popular way for tourists to experience Korea. So today on News Generation, we explore why foreign visitors are choosing to go for a run in Korea, the best ways to enjoy Korea's growing running culture, and what you should know before hitting the trail. Just as we saw in a video, running is becoming much more than a way to stay fit. It's now becoming a whole new way to experience Korea. It's a trend that's turning sightseeing into an active adventure. So how did Korea become such a big destination for runners from all over the world, Hugh?
Like we already know, running has become a global trend, especially among millennials and Gen Zs, and that buzz is actually spreading here in Korea, attracting a growing number of international visitors who actually come here specifically to run. So the trend has even given rise to a run trip tourism package that combines sightseeing with jogging through the city of Seoul. Now, some of the most popular routes include a central Seoul course covering Gwanghwamun, Samcheongdong, Cheonggyecheon Stream, the Blue House, and the Gyeongbokgung Palace. Now, other favorites include the Gangnam route through Cheongdam-dong and COEX Mall, as well as the course linking the Han River Park with the trendy Seongsu-dong district. Now, all the places I have mentioned are spots tourists are quite familiar with, but by integrating outdoor running within these areas gives that extra wellness vibe to traveling, which many young people are seeking more and more these days.
So it is fascinating to see running routes becoming tourist attractions in their own right. And the numbers suggest this is more than just a passing trend. So how much has interest in running in Korea actually grown?
Well, so to give some exact numbers, one travel app recently saw a 50% jump in run trip packages in Korea. The Korea Tourism Organization also reported about 3,000 social media mentions in the first quarter of the year, which is a massive 200% spike compared to 2 years ago. It seems running is no longer just a fun hobby or an experience, but it's actually becoming a huge reason to travel. On top of that, more and more foreigners, international runners, are signing up for running events in Seoul. Just last month at Duksan Park Festival, the number of foreign runners, shot up 13 times compared to just 2 years ago. So there's a big jump.
Right, so those figures really show that people are planning entire trips around running. So what exactly makes running, specifically in Korea, so appealing to so many people here?
I think the biggest appeal to international travelers was having such a clean running course along the Hangang River Park, flowing right through the big city like Seoul. Like those who have been to any Hangang River parks would know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of cleanliness and the maintenance. Now you get to see the heart of Seoul while you run, including seeing landmarks like the N Seoul Tower and the Lotte Tower, including all the different bridges that connect the Han River actually, and the small to big mountains that you would actually normally go to see for sightseeing. Now, also, we can't leave out the convenience when we talk about Korea. Accessibility is probably the biggest part of running in the city of Seoul. You can get to most of the trending running routes like Gyeongbokgung Palace and the Seoul City Wall within 1 or 2 bus or subway rides from wherever you're staying in Seoul. So basically, you're having fun and staying fit at the same time while traveling. So 2-in-1.
What more can you want? So it really is a unique mix. You can run past a royal palace, along a river, and finish with a mountain view all in one day. But the scenery isn't the only thing earning praise from overseas runners. So besides the scenery that we just talked about, what else do foreign runners love about Korea?
Yeah, so there's the beautiful scene and it's also very clean. But on top of that, a lot of foreigners give a very high score for the safety, for how safe it is. Seoul and any other cities in Korea is very safe that anyone, including kids, students, and women, so that they can run even at dark nights or even early in the morning. Plus, the paths around the Han River and the Han River Park are very well lit. So there's no reason, you don't have to worry about the darkness or running in the dark, even at late times. It actually gets brought up a lot on social media as one of the few countries where you can go running at any time, 24/7, whenever you want, wherever you want. Yeah.
And I can imagine that's such an even bigger perk now because the weather is so hot. So that's definitely something many locals may take for granted, but it really is a huge advantage for many visitors. So we were also curious what our viewers thought about this, so about the Seoul's best running spots. So we asked our viewers on the Arirang News YouTube channel, if you could go for a run anywhere in Seoul, where would you choose? And here's what the results showed. The Han River was the overwhelming favorite, earning 68% of the vote, and 17% chose Seoul's mountains, including Namsan, Bukhansan, and Cheonggyecheon, while 10% wanted to run past the city's palaces and fortress walls, and just 5% picked the city's skyscraper-lined streets. Right, so the results were quite interesting. I think we saw some of the most important parts that we talked about. And no surprise there, obviously, the Han River has become Seoul's iconic destination thanks to its, we talked about the scenic waterfront views, extensive running paths, and easy accessibility for both locals and visitors. And now, to get a runner's perspective on this, we'll be speaking with an avid runner who has taken part in races around the world. And that conversation is coming up right after break, so stay with us.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
We're joined now by Celia, an experienced runner from Paris who's now based in Seoul. And alongside her work as a beauty and sportswear model, she's an active member of Seoul's running community and has raced in Seoul, Shanghai, and Guam. So hello, Celia. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
My pleasure. Hi.
Hi, good to see you. So Celia, how often do you go running and what's your favorite place to run here in Korea?
Well, I have to say that I run, I would say 4 to 5 times a week. If I have to train for an event, for example, for a marathon coming up, then it might be more. And sometimes I have events with my crew, so that depends. But I would say my favorite courses in Korea, and especially in Seoul, it's definitely by the Han River. The Han River the scenery is so beautiful. And one of my favorites as well is the Yangtze stream. I've had the chance to run there in spring by the cherry blossom, and I have to say that it's one of my favorite runs ever. And if I have to go a little bit harder and try and train, then I would definitely go to Namsan. The course is hard, but it's very, very effective for training.
Wow, I should definitely start training with you. By the way, I like the words in your background, champion, you got this. By the way, how would you compare Korea's running courses with those abroad, and what are the biggest advantages and maybe some drawbacks?
So I've seen many different courses, but I have to say in Korea, courses are probably my favorite because it's very clean. At night, it's very well lit. Maintenance is incredible, and I don't have to worry about finding water stations nor finding toilets on my way. Everything is very convenient for runners. It's very straightforward. There's a lot of colors on the ground, so you can follow your path, and I think that's something that I struggled with abroad, so that's definitely an advantage for me, and I think that's the biggest one. When it comes to drawbacks, I would say the weather these days is hard. The weather is very, very difficult to deal with. I would say in summer, it's very, very hot. And then in winter, it gets very, very cold. So you have to power through the seasons. But apart from that, I think that the advantages, they definitely outweigh the drawbacks.
Right, definitely. Now, last question for you. How would you describe Korea's running culture and fashion, such as the community and the gear that people wear?
Yes, well, for me, I was very surprised when I moved to Seoul. I used to run by myself in Paris. And I have to say as well that by the time I started running, it wasn't a trend like it is right now. People were wearing whatever they wanted to run. But in Korea, I discovered what it's like to have a crew. So I joined my crew No Rules, and I discovered what it's like to be part of a community and enjoy a hobby together. You meet people. I had the chance to meet amazing friends in my crew. And that's true that the fashion comes with it. People here in Korea, they definitely dress up to go for a run. Everything matches, from the running shoes to the t-shirt. And I think that's kind of fun. That's part of the fun of it. And I actually really enjoy putting, pretty things on me to go for a run. And yeah, I would say that's something that I grew to love here in Korea.
I mean, that purple does look really good on you. So I mean, it's clear that you are very passionate about running and you run races across the world. Do you have any other races that you're looking forward to?
Yes, actually, I have two marathons coming up. I have Chicago Marathon, so in October. Yeah, and I'm very excited. It's my first major marathon.
Wow.
So, yes, I hope to collect them in the future, but that's the very first one that I'll run. And I'm running for the second time as well, the JTBC Marathon. So, it's like 2 weeks apart. So I think it's going to be hard on me, but I'm training very hard right now.
You got this. You got this.
Good luck.
Well, yeah,
Good luck.
hope it goes well. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights with us
My
today.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So hearing from an international runner, it gives us a great perspective on what makes Korea stand out as a running destination. So where are the best places to enjoy running in Korea, Kyun?
So wherever you are staying in Seoul, chances are there is a good running route nearby. So places like Yeouido, Jamsil, Tuksum, and Mangwon are among the city's best-known Hangang River parks, all offering well-maintained paths for runners, even during nighttime. So rather than just running indoors on a treadmill, visitors can simply just step out to the closest Han River Park and enjoy a run along the river, enjoying fresh air, open view, and of course like the landmarks as well. But for those who want to actually combine running with sightseeing, urban routes passing through Gwanghwamun Square, Dongdaemun Design Plaza, or DDP they call it, or Chonggak Station are also highly recommended. And like I mentioned before, they offer a great way to explore Seoul streets and major landmarks while getting a workout at the same time.
Right, so it sounds like runners don't have to travel far to find a great route, whether they prefer nature, city views, or landmarks. There really is something for every runner. And beyond choosing the right route, there's also a growing community helping people enjoy running together. And our Zoom guest just kind of mentioned that. So how can visitors join this running community here in Korea?
Right, so since the running has become very popular among the younger Gen Zs and the millennials, tons of different running communities and crews have been showing up. For example, there are events such as that's called open runs, where anyone can just join without having to sign up in advance. And there's also an event called guest runs, where you can bring or invite a friend to your running crew. So you guys should definitely give that a try if you guys are interested. There's also 7979 Seoul Running Crew, which is run by the city. It's called 7979 because 79 sounds like friend in Korean. So it's like 친구. And the second 79 is they run from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So the friendly night hours. Even outside of Seoul, every other local governments operate their own running crews, making it very easy and accessible for anyone to try running within Korea.
Right, so that is one great way for visitors to connect with locals while experiencing Korea through running. But before heading out, there are a few things runners should keep in mind to enjoy the experience safely. So what should runners know before running in Korea? What's your advice as an avid runner yourself?
Safety comes first before anything. There have been civil complaints on runners running in groups, causing congestion in walkways and just increasing the danger of actually running into people who are actually walking in these pathways, including children.
Right.
So, keeping safety in mind at all times, especially when there are pedestrians and cars along the route you're running in, is key to enjoying running and getting the most out of traveling in Seoul. And I would like to just end off by saying, I said I enjoy just running alone, but after hearing from our interviewer why people enjoy running in groups, I think the fact that you have to, having that feeling of, oh, I need to exercise to stay fit and healthy, and going to the gym or stepping outside your door to actually go for a run is the most difficult part. But if you have like a kind of a group meeting scheduled to run together in a group, you have to kind of have that obligation to step out of the door and be there on time. And once you get there, like running is like the easy part. Like getting out of the door, out of your house, getting all dressed up.
Getting ready.
Getting ready is the hardest part, I feel. But once you get through that, everything else is so fun. So I think having that kind of meeting gather-ups gives you that extra motivation to, stay fit and healthy. And I think gearing up, dressing well is also a part of socializing as well. So because you're in groups, you might want to dress to impress, and you might meet new friends as well along the way. So I think running in groups, community, I'm all for it. But for now, I like running on my own because there are also perks and advantages of running alone.
Right, there are pros to both types. It depends on what works for you.
Yep.
So I think that's a really important point. Running is enjoyable, but being considerate of others is just as important, especially in busy areas. And in addition to being mindful of the surroundings, runners also need to prepare for Korea's very hot and sometimes quite humid summer weather. So how can runners stay safe during this weather?
Right, so it's kind of an extension of the safety part that you mentioned. I would say, if I had to say just one thing, I would say stay hydrated, drink water. Please drink enough water. If you don't drink enough water in this hot weather, consequences will be there. And it's very easy for people to not drink enough water when they're running because a lot of people feel like stomachache or feel uncomfortable when they drink water right before running or while they're running. A good tip is to take small sips rather than chugging the whole bottle at once. For the foreigner viewers in Korea, sometimes we have these free water refrigerators alongside some parks, and they also have some water dispensers. If you can't find any free access to water, we have many convenience stores or corner stores that sells water for a very cheap price. And also, I would highly recommend to avoid the daytime hours, probably from 11 a.m. to 4 to 5 p.m. I would definitely avoid those hours because it's way too sunny, way too much heat, way too much sun. Run in the morning or after the sunset to avoid the heat. It's very important to run on a cool weather. So everyone, let's have fun, let's run, enjoy the city, enjoy all the parks and the rivers, but let's do it safely.
Great advice. So Korea's running boom is showing that fitness and travel can go hand in hand. As more visitors lace up to explore the country, running is becoming another way to experience Korea beyond the usual tourist attractions. And that's what makes running tourism more than just another travel trend. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. Big thanks to Kyun.
I had so much fun today.
It was so fun talking to you about this, and also Wongi.
I had a lot of fun as well. Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. And if today's show inspired a scenic run this weekend, make sure the only thing running hot is your motivation. We are
News Generation.